During Hurricane Ian in 2022, grocery stores across Florida were completely empty within 2 hours. No bread, no water, no eggs, just gone. And experts say it won't be the last time. That's why today I'm showing you the 9 survival foods you should stockpile now before panic sets in. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, hit subscribe because this isn't just another listicle. I spent the last 2 weeks diving into reports from FEMA, talking to emergency preparedness experts, and reviewing data from the USDA on shelf-stable foods that actually work in a crisis. What I found, most people are stocking up on the wrong things. In fact, some so-called survival foods barely last a year, while others can keep you fed for decades. So today, I'm giving you the ultimate starter list. The first 9 foods you should buy right now to protect your family, save money, and sleep better at night. In this video, I'll reveal what those foods are, how long they last, and a few hidden gems you probably never thought of. Plus, I'll share budget-friendly tips so you don't have to break the bank. This one's for foodies, preppers, and anyone who wants peace of mind in uncertain times. Quick question before we get started. Have you ever tried preparing for an emergency and realized you had nothing useful at home? Drop A. If you've ever panicked shopped during a storm warning, let's see how many of us are guilty. Number 1, canned beans. Let's kick things off with the unsung hero of survival pantries, canned beans. Yep, those little legumes hiding in metal cans might not look like much, but they're one of the most powerful foods you can stockpile for emergencies. Whether you're making chili, tacos, or just eating them straight from the can, no judgment here. Beans are packed with protein, fiber, and nutrients that your body needs when life gets unpredictable. One of the biggest reasons canned beans make the cut as number 1, they last forever. Well, not literally, but almost. If stored properly, canned beans can last up to 5 years without going bad. That's right. 5 whole years of ready-to-eat meals, no cooking required. Just grab a can opener, crack it open, and boom, you've got food. In a world where fresh produce doesn't stick around and meat spoils fast, this kind of shelf life is gold. And let's talk about nutrition for a second. Beans are loaded with plant-based protein, which is perfect if you're trying to stay full and energized without relying on meat. They also have tons of fiber, which helps keep your digestion running smoothly, even when stress and chaos are everywhere else. Plus, they're low in fat and rich in iron, potassium, and other essential minerals. Basically, they're doing work for your body, even when you're not thinking about it. Another reason beans are survival superstars, they're incredibly versatile. You can eat them cold straight from the can, warm them up over a camp stove, or mix them into rice, pasta, or soups. Toss them into a wrap, add some seasoning, and turn them into refried beans, or mash them up for a quick dip. The options are endless. This versatility makes them more than just emergency food, they're comfort food too. Now, let's talk affordability. Beans are one of the cheapest sources of protein you can buy. A single can costs less than $1 at most stores, and if you buy in bulk, the price drops even lower. You can stack up a month's worth of meals for just a few bucks. For budget-conscious viewers, that's huge. It means you don't have to spend a fortune to be prepared. You can build a strong, nutritious emergency pantry without breaking the bank. But wait, there's more. Beans come in so many varieties that you'll never get bored. There's black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, navy beans, garbanzo beans, and more. Each has its own flavor and texture, so you can mix and match based on what you like. Want something creamy? Grab some cannellini beans. Need something hearty for chili? Go for kidney beans. Like Mexican flavors, pinto beans are your best friend. The variety keeps your meals interesting and flavorful, even in tough times. Storing canned beans is simple too. As long as the cans are sealed and stored in a cool, dry place, they'll stay good for years. No need for refrigeration or special equipment. Just tuck them under your bed, in a closet, or on a pantry shelf. And forget about them until you need them. And when you do, they're always ready to go. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Beans were a staple during World War II rationing. Soldiers, families, and everyday people relied on them because they were filling, nutritious, and easy to transport. So if they kept people fed back then, there's no reason they won't help you now. Number 2, rice. Let's talk about one of the most powerful staples in human history, rice. It's been feeding civilizations for thousands of years, and for good reason. When it comes to survival food, rice is not just a side dish, it's a game changer, especially if you go with white rice, not brown. Now, before the health nuts come after me, yes, brown rice has more fiber and nutrients. Here's the catch, it doesn't last nearly as long. Brown rice contains natural oils that can go rancid over time. White rice? That stuff can sit in your pantry for decades and still be perfectly edible. In fact, if stored properly in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, white rice can last up to 30 years. You read that right? 30 years. That's longer than some TV shows have been on air. So why does that matter? Because when disaster hits, whether it's a hurricane, blackout, or something worse, you want food that won't spoil on you. And rice checks that box hard. It's dry, lightweight, takes up little space, and gives you a ton of calories per pound. That makes it ideal for emergency storage, especially if you're trying to stretch your budget or save space in a small apartment. And let's not forget how incredibly versatile rice is. You can cook it plain and eat it with just about anything. Add beans, which we just talked about, throw in some canned veggies or mix in a few spices, and suddenly you've got yourself a full meal. Want something warm and comforting? Make a simple rice porridge. Need to stretch your protein? Mix rice into soups or stews. There are endless ways to use it, which means you won't get bored eating the same thing every day. Rice also cooks pretty easily, even without fancy equipment. All you need is water and a pot. No gas stove. You can boil it over a campfire or heat it up using alternative cooking methods like a portable camping stove or even a solar oven. So even if the power goes out and stays out, you'll still be able to make hot meals. Another big win, rice is cheap, like really cheap. You can buy a 20-pound bag for under $20 at most grocery stores or warehouse clubs. That's enough rice to last months, even years, if used wisely. For budget-conscious viewers, that kind of value is huge. You don't have to spend a fortune to be prepared. Just grab a few extra bags next time you're shopping and tuck them away. Number 3, peanut butter. Let's talk about something that might surprise you. Peanut butter. Yes, that creamy or crunchy comfort food we all grew up with isn't just for sandwiches and late-night snack attacks. It's also one of the best survival foods you can stockpile. At first glance, peanut butter might not seem like an obvious emergency food. It's sticky, it's thick, and let's be honest, most people think of it as a pantry staple, not a lifeline. But here's the thing, when disaster hits, you want food that's calorie-dense, nutrient-rich, and shelf-stable. And peanut butter checks all those boxes. Let's start with calories. Peanut butter is packed with them, around 200 calories per 2 tablespoons. That might not sound like much, but in an emergency, every calorie counts, especially if you're dealing with cold weather, stress, or physical labor like cleaning up after a storm or setting up shelter. Peanut butter gives you energy fast, and it keeps you full longer than most snacks. And then there's the nutrition part. Peanut butter is loaded with protein, healthy fats, and vitamins like B6 and E. These help keep your body strong, support your immune system, and even boost your mood. In tough times, staying mentally and physically healthy matters more than ever. So having a jar or 5 tucked away could do more than just satisfy a craving. It could actually help you function better under pressure. Now let's talk storage. Most jars of regular store-bought peanut butter already have preservatives built in. That means they can last for up to 12 months unopened on the shelf. If you go with natural peanut butter, no added oils or sugars, it won't last quite as long because of the oils that can separate and spoil. But if you store it properly, in a cool, dark place, or even in the fridge, you can still get several months out of it. But here's where things get really interesting. Powdered peanut butter. Yep, that stuff exists. And it's a game changer for prepping. Powdered peanut butter has most of the oil removed, so it lasts way longer, sometimes up to 10 years when sealed in Mylar packaging. Just add water, and boom! You've got yourself a peanut butter-like spread that can turn crackers, oats, or even plain rice into something delicious. Another big plus? Peanut butter is easy to eat, no matter what kind of situation you're in. No power? No problem. You don't need heat to enjoy it. Just grab a spoon, open the jar, and dig in. Want something warm? Stir some into hot water or milk, powdered or canned, for a comforting drink. Number 4, canned tomatoes. Let's talk about something that might not jump to mind when you think survival food, but absolutely should. Canned tomatoes. Yeah, they're not flashy like peanut butter or as classic as rice, but don't sleep on them. These little red powerhouses are packed with flavor, nutrients, and versatility that can seriously upgrade your emergency meals. Think about it. When the lights go out and your options are limited, you still want your food to taste good, right? That's where canned tomatoes come in. Whether you're making chili, pasta sauce, stew, or even just a simple rice dish, adding canned tomatoes instantly boosts the flavor without needing fresh ingredients. And in survival mode, flavor is more than just a bonus, it's a morale booster. Now, let's get into the basics. Canned tomatoes come in all kinds of forms: whole, thawed, crushed, fire roasted, seasoned, you name it. Each type has its own use, so you can mix and match based on what you like to cook. Need a thick base for chili? Crushed tomatoes. Want something chunky for soup? Diced. Like a smoky kick? Fire roasted is your friend. The variety gives you options, which helps keep your meals from getting boring, even when your pantry is limited. But beyond flavor, canned tomatoes bring some serious nutrition to the table. They're rich in vitamin C, potassium, and lycopene, an antioxidant linked to heart health and cancer prevention. In short, they're not just tasty, they're doing real work for your body. And during emergencies, when stress is high and resources are low, keeping your immune system strong matters more than ever. Another big win: shelf life. Most canned tomatoes last 1 to 2 years if stored properly. That's not quite as long as a rice or beans, but still plenty of time to rotate your stock, and make sure you always have some on hand. Just remember to check expiration dates and use the oldest ones first, and if you really want to extend their life, store them in a cool, dark place away from heat and moisture. Storage-wise, canned tomatoes are pretty easygoing. As long as the cans stay sealed and undamaged, they'll be good to go. No need for refrigeration or special packaging. Just tuck them into your pantry or storage bin until you need them. If you've got space, buying a few extra cans every time you grocery shop makes it easy to build up a solid stash over time. And here's something most people overlook: canned tomatoes can actually replace fresh ones in almost every recipe. That means no worrying about spoilage or having to rush to use them before they go bad. Plus, you avoid the mess and hassle of chopping, peeling, or seeding fresh tomatoes, which sounds small, but trust me, it adds up when you're dealing with limited water or electricity. Number 5, oatmeal. Let's talk about something that might surprise you as a survival food: oatmeal. Yep, that warm, cozy breakfast staple isn't just for mornings anymore. It's also one of the best foods you can stockpile for emergencies. At first glance, oatmeal might not seem like much. It's soft, it's light, and let's be honest, it's mostly associated with cold winter mornings and slow weekends. But here's the secret: oatmeal is packed with nutrition, has an impressive shelf life, and can be used in all kinds of creative ways when you're dealing with limited resources. Let's start with what makes oatmeal such a smart pick for emergency prep: its shelf life. If stored properly, meaning sealed tight in a cool, dry place, plain rolled oats can last for up to 30 years. That's right, 3 decades. Of course, most store-bought containers won't last quite that long unless they're specially packaged with oxygen absorbers. But even regular packaging gives you 2 to 5 years of solid storage time. That's more than enough to build a steady rotation system and always have some on hand. Now, let's talk nutrition. Oatmeal is loaded with complex carbs, DH fiber, and even a decent amount of protein for a plant-based food. It keeps you full longer, gives you lasting energy, and helps regulate blood sugar levels. Super useful when your meals are unpredictable or limited. Plus, it contains vitamins like B1 and minerals like iron, which help keep your body running smoothly, especially under stress. And here's another big plus: oatmeal doesn't need to be cooked. If you've got hot water, sure, go ahead and make it the classic way. But if power's out and you're working with limited resources, you can eat it raw by mixing it with cold water, milk, powdered or canned, or even just munching on it plain. Some people even soak it overnight with a little liquid to make something close to overnight oats, no heat required. But wait, there's more. Oatmeal isn't just for breakfast. Think outside the bowl. Use it to make simple cookies, granola bars, or even as a thickener in soups and stews. Number 6, powdered milk. Let's talk about something that might not be the first thing you think of when prepping for emergencies: powdered milk. Yeah, it doesn't sound glamorous, but hear me out. This stuff is a total lifesaver when fresh dairy isn't an option. We all know how fragile the supply chain can be. One minute the grocery store shelves are full, the next, gone. And when that happens, getting your daily dose of calcium and protein becomes a real challenge, especially if you have kids, seniors, or anyone else who relies on dairy. That's where powdered milk comes in. It's not just a backup plan, it's a game changer. Let's start with the basics. Powdered milk is basically regular milk with the water removed. That means it doesn't need refrigeration and won't spoil like the cartons in your fridge. If stored properly, in a sealed container away from heat and moisture, it can last for up to 20 years. Yes, 2 decades. That kind of shelf life makes it one of the most reliable long-term food options you can stockpile. Now, let's talk nutrition. Powdered milk still has most of the vitamins and minerals found in fresh milk, like calcium, vitamin D, protein A's, and even some B vitamins. These are important for bone health, immune support, and overall energy levels. In stressful times, when your body is under more strain, having access to those nutrients can make a real difference. And here's the best part: you don't have to drink it straight, though you totally can. Use it to rehydrate and make liquid milk, mix it into oatmeal or pancake batter, or add it to soups and sauces to boost flavor and nutrition. You can even use it in baking recipes to replace fresh milk. Just add water when you're ready to cook. The flexibility makes it way more useful than most people realize. But wait, there's more. Powdered milk takes up way less space than gallons of dairy. A single canister can hold the equivalent of dozens of cups of milk, which is perfect if you're short on storage space. Plus, it's lightweight, so it's easy to pack in emergency kits or bug-out bags. No more worrying about heavy jugs sloshing around in your car or backpack. Another big win: cost. Compared to other long-term survival foods, powdered milk is super affordable. You can find large cans for just a few bucks at warehouse stores or online retailers. And since a little goes a long way, buying a few extra cans every now and then lets you build up a solid supply without breaking the bank. Now, we should address the elephant in the room: taste. Some people say powdered milk doesn't taste quite like fresh. Fair point, but here's the thing: when you're in a crisis, you're not exactly expecting gourmet meals. And honestly, once you mix it with a little chocolate powder, honey, or even just a pinch of cinnamon, it's totally drinkable. Or use it in cooking, where the flavor blends right in. Number 7, bouillon cubes. Let's talk about something most people overlook when prepping for emergencies: flavor. When disaster hits and your options are limited, you still want your food to taste good, right? That's where bouillon cubes and granules come in. They might be small, but they punch way above their weight when it comes to survival food. At first glance, bouillon cubes look like tiny blocks of seasoning, and that's exactly what they are. But don't let their size fool you. These little guys are packed with flavor and can turn even the simplest meals into something rich, savory, and satisfying. Whether you're making rice, pasta, beans, or just boiling some water for a quick soup, a single cube can make all the difference. Let's start with shelf life. Bouillon cubes and granules are incredibly stable. If stored properly in a cool, dry place, they can last for up to 5 years, sometimes even longer. Unlike fresh herbs or vegetables that spoil fast, these seasoners stay strong for years without losing their punch. That makes them perfect for emergency kits, bug-out bags, or just keeping in your pantry as a backup. And here's the best part: you don't need much. A single cube can flavor an entire pot of rice or soup, or if you prefer granules, a teaspoon goes a long way. This means a small container can stretch very far, especially when you're trying to conserve supplies. It also makes them super easy to pack and store without taking up much space. Now, let's talk versatility. Bouillon isn't just for soups and broths, though it's great for those. You can crumble a cube over rice or potatoes for instant flavor, mix granules into canned meats or veggies to upgrade the taste, or use them to season scrambled eggs made from powder. Even adding a pinch to oatmeal or mashed beans can make a big difference in how enjoyable your meal is. Flavor matters more than most people realize, especially in tough times. Eating bland, repetitive meals day after day can wear on your mood and motivation. Number 8, let's talk about one of the most underrated heroes of emergency food prep: canned tuna and chicken. These little cans are like portable protein powerhouses. They're light, they're easy to store, and best of all, they don't need refrigeration or cooking. Just crack open the can, grab a fork or your fingers, and you've got yourself a real meal. At first glance, canned tuna and chicken might not seem like much, but when fresh meat isn't an option and you're stuck with limited resources, these shelf-stable proteins become absolute lifesavers. Whether you're making sandwiches, mixing them into pasta, or just eating them straight from the can, they give you that essential protein boost your body needs when life gets unpredictable. Let's start with shelf life. Most canned tuna and chicken lasts up to 5 years if stored properly. That means you can buy a few extra cans every time you go shopping and slowly build up a solid stockpile without worrying about spoilage. And unlike fresh meat, which only lasts a day or two without power, these cans sit quietly in your pantry until you really need them. Now, let's talk nutrition. Both tuna and chicken are packed with lean protein, which helps keep your muscles strong, your energy levels steady, and your hunger under control. They also contain important nutrients like B vitamins, iron, and even omega-3 fatty acids, especially in tuna. In stressful times when your body is under more strain, having access to quality protein makes a huge difference in how well you function. And here's another big plus: no cooking required. If the power goes out and you don't have access to a stove or fire, you can still eat these right out of the can. No boiling, no heating, no fuss. Just grab a can opener, open it up, and enjoy. It doesn't get easier than that, especially if you're dealing with limited fuel or water. But wait, there's more. These canned meats are incredibly versatile in how you use them. Mix tuna with mayo and throw it on crackers for a quick sandwich. Stir some shredded chicken into rice or pasta for a filling meal. Add either one to soups, stews, or casseroles when you're ready to cook something warm, or combine them with beans and veggies for a hearty emergency salad. The options are endless, even with minimal ingredients. Number 9. Honey. Let's talk about something that might surprise you as a top survival food. Honey. Yeah, I know. Most people think of honey as just a sweetener or a breakfast topping. But here's the secret. Honey is one of the most powerful, long-lasting, and multi-purpose foods you can stockpile. And get this, it never goes bad. That's right. Scientists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. No other food can say that. So if you're looking for something that lasts forever, boosts energy, and even has healing properties, honey should definitely be in your emergency stash. Let's start with the basics. Honey is packed with natural sugars, mostly fructose and glucose, which makes it a perfect source of quick energy. If you're dealing with stress, cold weather, or physical labor, like cleaning up after a storm or hiking to safety, a spoonful of honey can give you a fast boost without the crash of caffeine or artificial sugar. And here's another big win. Honey doesn't need refrigeration. Unlike jams or syrups that can spoil or grow mold, honey stays good for years, even decades, as long as it's stored properly. Just keep it sealed tight in a cool, dark place and it'll be ready whenever you need it. Even if it crystallizes, which is totally normal, you can just warm it up gently and it'll go back to liquid form. Now, let's talk versatility. Honey isn't just for toast or tea, though those are great uses. You can use it to sweeten oatmeal, pancake batter, or even mix it into powdered milk for a comforting drink. Add it to trail mix for extra calories, or use it as a base for homemade energy bars. In a pinch, it can even replace sugar in baking recipes. Just adjust the liquid content slightly. But wait, there's more. Honey isn't just food, it also has natural antibiotic and antiseptic properties. That means it can help treat minor cuts, scrapes, or burns when medical supplies are limited. People have been using honey for wound care for thousands of years, and modern science backs it up, so having a jar on hand could do more than just satisfy a sweet tooth. It could actually help you heal faster. And if this video gave you real value, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps the algorithm show this content to more people who need it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another tip on how to stay prepared, save money, and eat well, no matter what's going on in the world. Thanks for watching, and remember, being ready doesn't mean living in fear. It means living with peace of mind. See you in the next one.